Hey, Voices from the Bench community, Jennifer Ferguson from Ivoclar here with a quick shout out to all Programmil PM7 users and those thinking about joining the club. On July 1st, we're launching the Ivoclar block module that is powered by intelligent automation that optimizes toolpaths and saves you serious time. I'm talking up to 45% faster milling. And you want to know what the best part is? You can try it for free for 90 days. No pressure, no commitment. Do you want in? All you have to do is shoot us a message on Instagram at ivoclar.na or email me at jennifer.ferguson@ivoclar.com and we'll get you set up.
Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 379 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name's Grandma.
What's happening, Grandma? How are you?
Oh, man. If I could have told you how hard my week was, it would be too long to explain. But I'm really good.
Yeah.
Everybody's good. What about you?
Busy week, too. It's hot and humid here. It's terrible.
What does hot mean to you?
We're like 95 and probably about an 80% humidity right now.
You're 95. I'm 91. How is that even possible?
I don't know.
Here we are talking about the weather again.
Your weather report for the week. All I know is I walk out to my car and my glasses fog. That's how bad it is. It's terrible.
I'm so sorry about your luck. But I'm at 90 when I run. I feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Yep.
So we usually don't mention the ads that play on episodes, but our good friends at Ivoclar just started playing one that I think is a pretty big deal and worth mentioning. Mm-hmm. We talked to Tobias at IDS. The episode was out a couple weeks ago, but it's now live. And I don't know, Barb, are you doing these things yet? But 45% faster milling Emacs on a Ivoclar PM7, that just seems huge to me.
Do you know how many units we could do a day? 45% faster? Like, that's ridiculously awesome.
Seems like a lot. I mean,
I'm in.
Yeah, it goes live July 1st, they said.
Yep.
And, I mean, you could hear it in the ad, but if you want to get on board for 90 days to try it for free, send them a message on Instagram or an email. There's links on the episode show notes. It just, to me, it's like, when something gets better, it's like, it's 5% better. It's 10% better. 45 just seems like a lot.
That's half the time.
It's nuts to me. I don't know. If you have a PM7, why wouldn't you? If you don't have a PM7, go get a PM7 so you can do it.
I'm going to check the episode's show notes and show them to my partner, and he's going to be all in. So,
Why would you not? So this week, we're going to go back to the wonderful country of Germany, where we set up in the exocad booth for 4 full days and recorded as many as we could during the IDS show that happened last March. When we say we get to talk to people from all over the world, I think this conversation might be one of the most unique, as we chat with 2 guys that are killing it in Colombia. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their full names, so let's just say Juan Luis from New Stetic come onto the podcast to talk about how 70 years ago their company basically got sick of shipping everything into their country, so they decided to make their own teeth and acrylics.
Crazy.
But now they lead in dental anesthesia, which we learn all about, and I have no idea, printing resins, and they are taking the U.S. by storm.
Then we've got past podcasts and our good friend, Steve Campbell. He swings by to update us on what's happening with Nexus Dental Lab in the UK. By the way, Steve is at IDS speaking for exocad, and he's so brilliant. He's talking about their ART, A-R-T. What is ART? Well, it's an amazing way for labs to treatment plan cases with video of the design restoration in the patient's mouth. It's pretty freaking cool. Steve talks about it being a game changer. I think I talked about it being a game changer in the last JDT ad.
Yeah, you were pretty impressed.
Yeah, we were pretty stoked about it, so it's going to be really great.
Yeah. And then we meet the Chief Strategy Officer, or the CSO, of VHF, Dr. Nicolas Rohde. We have been hearing a lot of people say great things about VHF mills. I've never used one personally, but we've had plenty of people on this podcast say they're amazing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And we've never really had a chance to learn more about them. So Dr. Rohde stops by to talk about getting into dental by pure chance, moving over to VHF, running the American division all the way from Germany, and then he tells us about the mills and how and why they have their own software to run the cam on their machines.
Crazy.
So join us as we chat with Juan, Luis, Steve, and Dr. Rhodes. Voices from the bench. The interview. So awesome. This is exciting. Denise, good friend, came by.
She's been texting me for days. We've been
Thousands
working
of miles
at this.
away.
Yeah.
We meet, even though we're all like met in the States a million times. A thousand times. At the exocad booth, IDS 2025. And she brings on, who do we have?
Juan David Jaramillo.
And?
El Dr. Luis Diego.
Nice. You know that we'll never be able to pronounce that, so thank you very much. And the company?
New Stetic USA.
Yeah, I just watched the
gentlemen,
video.
welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having
Juan
us
and
here.
Luis.
Yeah.
That's the easy one.
Reese?
Juan and Luis.
Luis.
Juan and Luis. Yes.
Luis.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. Ron,
Juan,
how
yes,
are
Juan.
you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing real well. Tell me about New Stetic.
Thank you for having us here.
Absolutely.
Tell
What
us
is-
about your company.
Okay, thank you so much. We are a 70 years old company.
70?
We are
Wow.
are located in Colombia.
Nice.
We export our products to 65, 70 countries around the world.
65.
Wow.
Our main products are acrylic teeth, acrylic resins, dental anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
We have also discs, 3D printing resins. We have all kind of products for the dental business, really.
Do
And
you-
we produced everything.
So you work
In
with
Colombia.
dentists and labs?
Yes, both markets,
Okay.
pharma
Wow.
and medical devices.
Okay. It's awesome.
So how did it all start 70 years ago? Obviously, you weren't the one that started it.
No. There were some people in the lab industry, and there were technicians,
yeah.
and they started to find that there was a need in Colombia and in South America for products made locally, because at that time, 70 years ago, they were all only bought abroad, like in the US or Europe.
Yeah.
You'd have to wait
So
a long time to get
Yeah,
stuff.
so they started to have a small manufacturing facility at the beginning, and for a long time, the main product has been, as one said, the acrylic teeth for
Acrylic
dentures.
teeth.
Wow.
For
Yeah.
dentures, and this is still an important business in the company. And then later on, we started to expand
Yeah.
to different kind of products, and also to represent products from other companies to sell them in Colombia and some other countries in Latin America.
So you
it's
brought
kinda
in
like a
other
NOAC,
stuff. Yeah,
a
so you
little
brought
bit.
in
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
products.
Yes.
That's
the same.
wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here?
we have
You have a booth?
Yeah, we have a booth. We have a booth. We show all the products we manufacture, and this is a good place to do 3 or 4 different things. First, sell, of course.
Yep.
So we have a group who are selling to people that come from different distributors and
Yep.
from all around the world. This is the most important show. And then also we bring people that go and check for new products and start looking what are the
What's
trends.
next?
Yeah.
What's
Nice.
next? What do
Where
have
we are
to get
going
into?
next.
Mhm.
Wow.
And then also people that start talk to companies to buy things to bring them to Colombia. We have also for offices in the US and Mexico. So we also look to represent new products for these areas.
Wow.
And it's
Awesome.
very easy for us to be here because visiting we have around 600 customers around the world, and most of them are here.
Yeah.
Then we have to
Germany.
go everywhere,
Yeah.
65 countries is impossible. Then it's a good place to be together.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
have
Yeah,
So you
meetings.
can
they're
see
here
everybody
already.
Yeah.
all in Germany.
Yeah.
If you can find them, and if they can find you, because
Yeah.
this is quite large.
so easy.
I've never
We have
seen
been here
anything
for
like it.
50 years more. We have been 25 shows, maybe. This
Really?
is our, yeah.
Wow. So you're
more
Every
than
2
know what you're
years.
doing.
So what's the lab scene in Colombia like? Is there a lot of labs or
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, a
I think
lot,
there's a lot of high-end labs and
yeah.
really good technicians.
Yeah, really good
Really?
technicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world is going to the 3D printing world,
Yeah.
and Colombia is not far now. We just we started like 4 or 5 years ago, and every day more labs are learning
Digital.
Yeah, digital. We are like missionaries there. We are teaching people how to use this technology, because
Yeah.
it's not just buying a 3D printing or a CAD system.
No,
you
you
have
can't
to
just buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So are you selling the 3D printers and the CAD
no,
cam?
all
No?
just materials.
Just the
materials.
materials. So the
Consumables.
resins and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And we were partners of exocad long time ago. We used to have a lab,
Yeah.
a big lab. It was the most modern in Colombia.
So you owned a lab at one
Yeah,
point?
we
And
had.
you got out of that, didn't you?
Yeah, we are manufacturers.
That's
We
wonderful.
produce big volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dealing with every dentist, with every lab, is not for us.
Yeah.
We are not designed for that.
Yeah.
We could learn, but oh
Yeah.
my God, it's a long.
Process.
It's not easy. Then we decided to close that business. We sold it, and we are just manufacturing now.
Are you seeing your tooth sales go down as your resin sales go up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's
It's starting to
slowly
level
coming
slowly.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. Yeah. We are not. We are sure they are not going to disappear.
Yeah.
I don't think they
I
will
don't think
either.
they ever will.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we are seeing very, very, very.
Slow decline.
Yeah.
But
We
there
are
must
seeing
be, maybe there's not, but is there a lot of single person labs in Colombia where
Yeah,
they're just
a
like,
lot,
all
a
I do
lot.
is
Yeah,
dentures
that's,
kind of thing?
That's changing, because the legal staff, the law, the Minister of Health, they
Yeah.
are checking.
Oh.
Yeah, it's changing. It's changing.
What
So
does
there's
that?
like-
what does that mean? Like what's
They
changing?
are asking for regulation. We have to meet all the They have to meet the regulations, and
Wow.
it's not easy to start when you are not.
So now they are consolidating,
Yeah.
and they are, the single person lab with a low budget is very difficult
Yeah.
to survive. So
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
to integrate or
So they're
consolidate.
coming together.
They're coming
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Is there more regulation in Colombia than there is in the U.S.?
No, no.
Because there's not much in
It's
the
almost the
U.S.
same.
They're
It's
probably
almost-
they're probably
it's
just
almost
coming
the
to the
same,
party a
because,
little bit.
Yeah.
The countries follow what the FDA says
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
But
sure.
but it's not easy. It's not easy for them to meet all the requirements.
Yeah.
Because they have to change facilities or equipment or a lot of stuff that they have to start. If they want to survive in this new world, they have to
Yeah.
start
Do you have
doing
guys?
different things.
Do you have a lot of U.S. clients?
We have, yes, we have a lot of US clients.
I think Denise is
Yeah, I was
responsible
gonna
for
say.
that.
Is the
Denise is in
responsible.
charge of.
Yeah.
You have the
answering
whole
for-
U.S.?
Yes.
Woo!
Excellent.
No, US is a big market for us. I mean, we have our largest business is in the Americas, Latin America, of course.
Yeah.
We have a big business in Mexico. We have all South America, except Brazil. Brazil is on its own. They have
Yeah.
their big companies and
Yeah.
all inside the country.
Yeah, I've heard
But the
that
rest
too.
of the countries will do it. But we also do some business in Europe, Middle East, Southeast
Wow.
Asia.
Yeah.
So that's one. Juan said we have 65 countries where we sell.
Do you have
around the
people that are selling in all of those countries, or
Yes.
do they find you?
both ways. I mean, some of them we visit them, or we establish contact here in this exhibition.
Oh, yeah.
Or
That's
some
a
other
no-brainer,
exhibitions. So
right?
we go
Yeah.
to
Shows?
every year we go to 10, 12 shows around the world.
Around the world.
Around the world.
Yes, sir.
That's a fun job.
And I
Yeah.
loved your video of your company.
Yeah, it's a
That
bit-
probably gets a
the-
lot of views
Yeah,
and
the
gets you out
facility is
there.
really
Much.
beautiful.
Yeah. It's
What are
nice.
some of your big products? I mean, you mentioned teeth, you mentioned resin.
And dental anesthesia.
Is that what?
Dental
Anesthetics.
anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's
For
big
clinics,
time medical.
right?
That's a
Obviously.
huge business.
Why is What makes yours special? I know nothing about it, right? I see those vials. They stick them in the needle. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay. Those are, the dental anesthesia is used in cartridges, not vials.
Yeah,
vial is for medical uses.
Yeah, sure.
Or some countries are in Southeast Asia, they use vials. But cartridges are the most common in the dental world.
And those are the little tubes
Yes.
put inside of the needle.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
That one.
That's your biggest seller.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a huge business. Many customers are looking for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a lot of company that makes them or not?
No, not many.
That's the key. I had no idea.
Yeah. If meeting all the requirements, the regulatory issues for every country, because there is FDA, there is CE country, but every country has a special requirement that you have to meet.
65 regular.
Check that box.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. But anesthesia, we are in 35, 40.
Okay.
With the other products, we are in 65, 70 countries. Anesthesia is not that easy, but we will be.
Yeah.
We are not yet in the U.S., for example, with anesthesia.
Yeah.
You do.
We will
You're
be.
in the U.S.
We are not. We are not right
Not
now.
yet.
No,
not yet.
We're going
So
to
you have
be
to
in
get
a
that
couple of years.
regulation.
Couple
Gotcha.
years.
Yeah.
Is it hard
Takes
to
that
bring
long,
it?
huh?
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to follow
Paperwork.
a lot of procedures, and you have to fill a lot of requirements and many things. So and that's something that we are working in the factory and complying with all these regulations. But in a couple, 2 or 3 years, we will be for
Do you
sure
have
in
to
the US.
change anything in your product?
probably have
No.
to get to the, or it's just like the process.
The process, the procedure,
That's
the
silly.
Red tape.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of money also.
Yeah.
And to make some studies also, some
Clinical studies. You have to prove that the product is.
So you've got a whole team working on that.
Yes.
Then. That's doesn't
in that
sound
area,
simple.
we are more than 150, 200 people just
Wow.
in the
That's how big
anesthesia.
Wow. And just the anesthesia.
Just
part.
the anesthesia, because the quality control department is huge. You have to work
Inspect
24
every
hours a day.
single
How do you
one
even
of
make
them.
that stuff? You just buy different products and mix
Yes.
it and put it in
Yes.
a cartridge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
simple, but it's quite.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to dumb it down. It's just I don't know how that stuff
that's it.
happens.
That's it. Yeah. You buy the raw material, the basic product, and
Where
then
does the raw material come from? Just other companies?
from other
Colombia.
companies.
The main product is water. The main raw material is water.
Water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put
Wow.
2 or 3 powders more and mix them. And
That's it?
But then you have
It's
to
not that easy,
comply.
but
but
A couple drops of this, a couple drops of that, and a thing of water,
Something-
you're
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
But
And
then-
then 5 years later, you can sell in
But
the
then
U.S.
the whole lab and the whole facilities and the whole machines, they have to be pure, completely pure water and
sterile.
a sterile environment. So it's quite a
Yeah,
big
it's
Not
business.
just tap water?
Yeah, because it goes in with your blood. Then it's
Well, yeah.
you have to be very
I
careful.
mean, I would want that very regulated
Yes.
as they
Yeah.
inject
It
it,
is,
into
it
me.
is,
I get
it is.
that.
Heck yeah.
It is.
That
That's
sounds a lot harder than just selling denture teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't have to hit regulation with that kind of stuff, do you?
No, also. Yeah.
That too
yeah,
with
yeah.
denture teeth?
Yeah. Of course, we have to meet all the
It's medical.
510Ks
Yeah,
for
it's all
USA
medical.
and CE also, CE requirements. No, we have a lot. And
Yeah.
you know what? The medical devices are taking that way, the pharma way, all the regulatory issues.
Yeah.
The medical devices are going there. Then we have
Yeah.
to meet all the requirements every year.
Wow.
That's good. It's good for us because we are like accustomed to do that. It's part of our
Yeah.
day by day. Then
So-
it's not difficult. It just takes time, money, but if you meet all the requirements, it opens doors.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
opens doors. Then it's good for us.
So it kind of weeds out the non-competitors.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
I can't start a company tomorrow.
That's for
Please
sure.
don't do it.
Yeah.
I'd mess up the water.
So do you meet a lot of dentists here that are buying your anesthesia, or is it mostly larger companies?
I didn't. I'm sorry. I was talking to Denise. I didn't hear the
I don't know
question.
that. Do we meet here dentists that buy directly? Not really.
It's
I mean,
larger companies.
larger companies.
So
normally,
it's not direct
yeah. Normally,
necessarily.
what we find here is we meet with dealers.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't sell direct?
No, we don't sell
Oh,
direct,
okay,
no.
that makes
so
sense.
So we meet here in this exhibition. We meet dealers from different countries, and they are big importers to their own countries. They comply with all the requirements within their countries,
Got it.
and they start buying, and then they sell to the
Yep.
labs, clinics, and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, you guys are killing it. Seriously.
I had no
Love
idea
it.
that so much went into the
Yeah.
injectable numbing.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
we opened a new business. Is we
Oh,
are in the-
another one?
Yes.
Slow down, guys.
Yeah, it's,
Are
leave
you
some
guys
business
partners?
for the rest of us.
You're partners?
we work together. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Nail acrylic for.
You're getting into
Oh,
nail?
that
Yeah.
makes
Now
a
I
lot
know
of
why
sense.
Denise is in the business.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Acrylic teeth.
That makes
or
sense.
producing acrylics
Yep.
is similar to
Yeah.
the nail acrylic.
That makes sense to me a lot.
It's not the same. We thought it was the same, but it's not the same.
Not the same.
You have to
Yeah.
switch a little bit of all the production and everything, but then we have all the equipment, and we needed to explore and to of course to check all different combinations, and now we are working on. We're doing it. We are producing the raw material
Wow.
Yeah,
for companies that.
So, did you just see the connection and say we need to
Yes.
get into this market
Yes.
Is it
with the
acrylic nails?
materials?
Is it the same powder?
That's
and
what I
monomer?
mean.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what I
almost
mean.
no. It's not the same.
I get it, but
Similar.
very similar.
Yeah.
So
But
you,
the
saw
same
that and
reactors, the
Yeah.
same
But a million more
production
colors.
procedures.
Yes.
A million more
Oh
colors.
yes.
Yes.
We
yes.
just sell raw material to guys who color every.
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you sell it raw,
Yeah.
and somebody else
Big-
mixes it,
Yes.
and repackages
The
it.
packaging
Yes.
in small packages,
So you don't deal with
1,000, 2,000, 3,000 colors.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't do that.
I've seen
Seriously,
the wall when
that
I
would be a
walk by.
pain. I would be like,
Yeah.
no, we'll just do
Yeah.
this. Out. That's awesome.
Interesting.
It's
So
a
how's that going?
beautiful
Is that
business
growing a
also.
lot?
Yeah.
It's growing. It started only 3-4 years
Yeah,
ago, so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a new line, but
Yeah.
we're growing. It's growing.
Good for
As
you
much
guys.
regulation?
Not as much as the
No.
other one.
No, no.
Probably because
a
it
little
doesn't go in a body.
no.
It
Well,
goes
yeah.
on a body or like on a
Yeah,
nail.
Yeah. But it's
Awesome.
Well,
Very
let me see
good
your
business
nails.
also.
Or do
Yeah.
you-
No, not mine.
No,
Not
what's up,
mine.
guys?
I
Look
love
at
it.
theirs.
How come you're not sporting your own work?
You have to put long nails like that.
Yeah, Denise looks
I
like
love
she's got
it.
talons.
Well,
She's gonna
thank
hurt
you,
somebody.
Denise. I'm super happy. She was talking to me a couple days ago. Thank you guys both
So
for
what is
coming
it?
on.
Newstetic.com? Or
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Newst.
ETIC.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's
Welcome.
great.
Thank you
Check
for
it
having
out.
us here.
Yeah, this is some
Absolutely.
fascinating
So much
It's a
stuff.
pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, thank you
so
for
much.
waiting.
Yeah.
We
No,
didn't
no,
want to
no, no,
hold
no.
you
No,
up
we
either.
appreciate
so,
it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks a
Please
lot.
come
Great
to our
meeting.
booth.
Yeah,
Please.
I
Thank
will.
you.
If I can find it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Close to your mouth.
Here?
No, the microphone, not Barb.
There we go. When you talk, is it in this ear? Oh,
It's both.
It's both.
It's just a little louder in one.
yeah, I was going to say it's a bit louder in one.
I
Okay.
can turn you down if I need to.
Oh, don't worry. I've been turned down many, many times in my life, Elvis. This would be nothing new.
So, past podcast guest. I can't even tell you how long it's been. 3 years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
3-4 years. I have no idea anymore.
It feels like 3 or 4 years, but then it also feels like 10 years.
Yes.
You know, so much has happened.
So much.
Changing so fast.
So,
Well,
Steve Campbell, Nexus Dental Lab.
Yep.
Yep.
You're one of 3 speakers here for exocad.
I am.
Which is amazing to me that they only have 3, but you're doing it like 14 times a day. Every time I look up, you're up, and then you're gone, and then you're back. I'm like,
There he is again.
That is
Yeah, do you know what?
crazy.
I mean, the difference is they've got Ema and they've got Nilu, and they're really good. So they
Yes.
get value out of them the first time. I'm not that good, so to get the value out of me, they've got to make me do it over and over again.
we recommend you come back and see Steve 6 times to understand what he's talking about.
Exactly. You
How
wouldn't
do
get
you-
it the first time, come back the second time.
Oh, that's
And we do
great.
cupcakes in the afternoon, so catch them after the cupcake session.
And they're on a sugar high,
Yeah.
Get a
right?
sugar
Coffee,
high.
Yeah.
sugar, everyone's
I
like,
love it.
How do you get on the lecture circuit of exocad like all day for this whole convention?
do you know what, that's
Yeah, you
actually
must be
that's
pretty
an incredibly
special.
No, do you know, that's a great question. I think that was just blind luck, to be honest with you. You know, like we were doing a few small talks with our surgeons, you know, just people we knew locally. And then one of the surgeons said, oh, actually, I need you to come and do an event with me. It was the British Dental Show.
Yep.
And my first thought was, oh no, that'll be horrible. But then I thought, okay, do you know
When you
what?
talk about like being on stage.
Yeah, just that
Yeah.
fear. If you've never
Yeah.
done it, I was just like, oh no, no,
You used
no,
to be
no.
afraid of that?
Oh yeah, the worst.
Yeah.
You know,
How did you get over it? Repetition.
Maybe
just
you did.
repetition.
Psychology.
Yeah,
Or medicine.
well, all of them.
Sincerely, because I feel the same way.
I think everybody does. I mean, genuinely, when you care about something and it's something, it matters to you, you don't want to
should
get
be
it wrong.
nervous.
You should be nervous. Yeah, I think the worst thing that could ever happen is if you just flowed into it and didn't really
I don't
care. I
care.
think it's
Doesn't
going to
matter.
drop.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter enough. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where you've got to be very, very careful there.
So what are you talking about here? I mean, I know you're literally probably, 20 feet from us. I haven't heard a single thing
Yeah, we
you
can.
said.
It's too tough. Yeah.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think that, you guys are lucky. You've got these amazing headphones, so you can actually cancel me out.
I do.
I feel sorry for the EXO team. They've got to hear me 3 times a day.
I have a Steve button here that just kind of mutes you. So what are you talking about
So
here?
what we're talking about is we're talking about exocad and art. So they've got this whole new way of bringing together orthodontics, restorative, and it's about how you then use those tools to collaborate with the surgery and then inform the patient better. So essentially, we can now show patients, using AI and using the latest exocad tools, how they were going to look with the normal restorative dentistry, but also if they went for a short course of aligners, how they'd look and how they wouldn't have to have any reduction to their teeth.
So let me see if I
You
understand
do both
this.
of those?
Yeah, in one suite.
So you get an iOS scan as a lab. You get an
Yep.
iOS scan. You get a picture, a face scan, all of that.
Just a picture.
Just
a
a
picture.
picture.
A normal picture.
Just a normal
from the
picture
patient.
from the patient, and just a short video using just any smartphone.
Of them talking. You
So
don't
you
need
can
any
see
their
fancy
lips?
camera.
So you want to see their lips, you want to see their teeth, you want to just look at the camera in a nice little
What do
portrait
people
shot.
usually say when they do these things? Like, hi, this is super awkward.
Do you know, that's exactly what I think it's like. But normally, I think what they've done is some of my surgeons I know, they're a bit sneaky. They don't tell them they're recording yet. They kind of say, I'm going to be recording in a bit. How was your drive-in? And then they start talking about that.
And then they're
That's
more
the best way to
relaxed.
do it.
Exactly.
So they're not all tensed up.
That's
and they're
exactly
not,
it.
That's
Because when
pretty
people,
smart.
someone's looking at you, then you're going to be a bit.
Especially people that know they have poor dentition. They talk like are covering
wanna
their
hide it.
mouth. Yeah.
They're trying to,
Yeah.
the hand goes over the mouth, and that's actually the key. You're trying to say to the patient, you don't put them in their ear, and you say to them, look, imagine you've got the smile you always wanted, and we're just going to talk like that. So you want them to be expressive because we need to show them just how amazing that is. And when the generative AI video does that overlay, it really does. You can see people's reaction. They are literally like, wow.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than trying to get a smile out of someone that's got like a poor denture, because I
Yeah.
have to do this all the time. They're like, they barely move their lips. I'm like,
Yep.
I know you can do better than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's emotional too, right? Like you can read it. And I bet you higher case acceptance.
That's exactly what it
quicker.
comes down to. And the key is, we're not here about selling dentistry. If anything, as a lab, once they've gone through some of the alignment technology, they might not actually need the veneers they went for. They might get to that stage and be like, actually, I'm happy. But I'm totally cool with that, because we've got so many patients that come to us through trauma. They've fallen off a bike or something happens.
Yeah.
We all know, as a lab, you get plenty of cases anyway. So if somebody doesn't need treatment and they're only 21, I'd rather they didn't have any reductive.
We're not going to
dentistry.
not
Yeah, I
eat.
agree.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So labs got the scans, got the picture, and
Yep.
in exocad you overlay it.
Yep. Now,
So you put their iOS scan within their picture
yep.
in the video.
So this is the really clever bit. It used to be a real pain to get a 3D object to align nicely with a 2D picture.
Because you're lining up the scan teeth and the picture of the teeth, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they just don't look the same.
They don't look the same. You've got that kind of, we call it goldfish bowl effect. You normally
Yep,
get from cameras, and
yep,
you've got
yep.
all these sort of different effects going on. But the AI completely aligns it. It just morphs them into exactly the right arch
Oh,
to go
that's
down the corridor.
crazy.
One
so it's
click.
literally a button.
One
yeah.
click?
One click. AI does that for you. So because that used to be a real tricky affair trying to get it lined up, and then you can just start your normal smile design. So you can then show that smile design back into a 2D picture, which is cool. But then at the end of the whole process, as well as a very in-depth report about the tooth reduction they'd need and how many stages it would be if they did go for aligners versus not going for them,
Yep.
it also then has one button which is upload and create video. You just point to the video that's taken off the smartphone. It's uploaded to the cloud, to their AI system. It then takes all of your work from Exo and puts it in line.
So you don't have to.
You don't do anything. I mean, you have a coffee. I mean, we have a lot of coffee. but you know, I think the key for me is, you know, Art's doing all of this, but what it's really doing for me, you know, with my different hats on, working for the College of General Dentistry and the DLA, is it's helping us with a recruitment crisis and also a manpower crisis. Because we can do so much more because we are really efficient now. It's a number of clicks. So it's making it super quick and super easy.
And you get it early, obviously, right?
We're really
you're
lucky.
Already talking about it, and it's new.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What does that look like for you? They just call you and say, "Hey, we've got a new software. You want to check it out?"
That is exactly what happened. So you know, we got a little call, and Nila was like, "Look, we've got something we think you'd really like, but it's experimental just now. So we're going to hop on a Teams call. And I'm just going to show you it." She showed me it. I literally was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I want it. And then we didn't talk for about a month, and I thought, maybe I was too keen. maybe I've just talked myself out of being in that group.
Let's keep it out of his
I was too excited.
Yeah, that was, okay, Steve, okay, calm down.
He can't handle it.
But they were working so hard behind the scenes because there is a lot of complexity going on here. You know, the key to it is, instead of like one STL, so you know you've got your intraoral scan, and it's essentially just one file.
Yeah.
What this does is it auto segments out all of the teeth, so they become individual teeth units and gum units.
Wow.
So that's a lot of work because now you've got all these different geometries that can be moved and work around each other.
So does that help you in design?
Massively.
Big time.
Massively, because now you can literally pull each element out one at a time. You can just look at them from one tooth, move away another one. So it allows you to do, especially when you look at the pre and post alignment phases, it's just completely different to anything we've had before, but effortless. I mean, I am not the best CAD designer out there. Some of my team now are just so slick. But even I can pick it up because it's doing so much of the work for me.
So you find it easier for people to learn, which is going to help training new people.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
I know when I show tools like this to school leavers, I can definitely entice those into a laboratory now.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, I mean, hey, look, we talked about this before. When I went into the lab, it was all monomer and plaster and stuff everywhere, and I was hooked anyway. You know, there's something wrong with me. But it's not really appealing to the younger generation.
It's hard.
These tools are.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
we
like,
talked to Amy today.
Did you?
She was blown away and talked about it, just sitting right across from you. And I need help. I need a little help here. I need a little help here. About the rapidness of how good she's gotten so quickly is relative to the software and her brain and her skills.
No, I mean, look, I'm really lucky and I mean this hand on heart. When I came to this industry, I came in as an old school apprentice, so what mattered first was your hand skills, you know, and that's fine. That's what I was good at. And now what we're actually looking for are people who are incredibly clever and switched on and can adapt to technology very fast. So actually our intake's nothing like it was before.
It took a whole lot longer before.
Oh, you know, and it was great. You know, we've done a great job, but the time it took to do it was incredible. You know, it's getting so much faster and so much better. And we know with the CAD designs we're doing, they're great. But also the flip side is all these different new materials that are coming out. We're seeing how these new solutions are being put together. And we're going to see very soon, I think, some amazing dentures. Like, you know, we're already seeing the first waves of some of these come out. But let's take that for a few years. It's just going to get better and better.
But think of the alternative to this video thing, diagnostic wax-ups.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier, off mic, we had a whole conversation about it. And this lab does thousands of them. But what does that do for a patient? This is what your teeth look like in my hand.
You're right.
I can only imagine as a patient, other than being a little freaked out that you see yourself on video, but your new teeth are in a video, moving.
With you.
I can't imagine the sellability of that, I guess, or the acceptance of cases. Like, sign me up today, I want to look like that.
Yeah,
it's like trying on hair. I'm telling you. Remember those?
The engagement here is super
turned a little.
Like that.
That hurts part. I get it. I know.
that's, you try it on and you're like, I want that.
Yep. But look,
That's going right here.
the thing for this was that really took the patient nothing, and it took us very little work to give them both propositions. And then it goes to them, your value as a lab technician to your clinicians has just gone up massively.
And that's what we need.
You're
because
empowering them.
You can't do it just making crowns.
No.
You got to be of value, and you're going to sell that to these.
100%. And that's exactly where we're seeing this evolve into, because now we're actually doing that for them. We're making it so much easier for them to help them convince the patient that actually those aligners are worth it. Because in the past, it was a conversation, a bit like having a diagnostic in your hand. Would you want that?
Yeah, you'd have three models.
Here's some wonky teeth, here's some
You have
straight
three
ones.
models, crooked, less crooked, straight. Be like, this is you, and you're like, it's not.
Yeah, and they're like, well, no, I don't really want to go through that.
Yeah.
But you show them this and then say, oh, and by the way, if we don't do this, we're going to have to reduce 1 millimeter of your enamel.
Yeah.
That's a different story, because with that comes sensitivity, cleaning issues with crossover. So we're just empowering them to do a better job of informing the patient. Informed consent. It's great.
Are you charging for this?
No, because I'm a terrible business person.
Because it seems like you're still putting in work. You're still designing.
I think people will charge for
people.
it.
There's 100% people are going to charge for this. But we've got to remember at the moment, we're in a pre-release beta phase.
So it's not even out yet.
It's not even out yet. It's about to come out. This is about to be fully released. So obviously that's why everyone's now seeing art. They're seeing these going through. Yeah. This is going to be a full release. So that, I think, is when people will be like, well, actually, there is a value to this. So there will be something that the surgeons will say, actually, yep, great, I love that.
Yeah.
And most people, we know some of the lab technicians that I've met, they're very good business people as well. So they know when they see it, they understand the value of it, and I think that's important. Technicians really need to understand their value.
Oh, yeah.
That is not going away, it's just going up. So that's the key for us. These tools will help us in that journey.
And I see the clinician referring
to
their friends, the labs that have this type of software,
Bob.
because they're like, hey, you got to go to this lab. This is what I've been doing, and I'm selling the heck out of this.
You're right, Bob. I mean, somebody opens up a video and shows it to their mate when they're at the golf club.
And they do.
Like, they always do.
Dentists.
Yeah.
The first time I saw this was someone showing it to me in Chicago on their phone. Like, look at this video. I was like, oh my God, that's cool.
I mean, that stuff goes.
Yeah. And that's it.
And then if you're that lab,
you're
in a sweet spot.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely are.
Awesome. So what else is happening at your lab not exocad related? Anything exciting?
We moved premises twice. So we've now moved to an old chapel, which is amazing. Just an amazing space. So we've got a full open auditorium upstairs. Wow. We're slowly renovating all of that.
And you had to run all your water lines and air lines and everything through this old chapel?
Yeah, so they're all going on. So the main floor you come in is very much like a high-tech digital design suite area. Downstairs is in the basement. There's all the 3D printers and all of the other sort of the engine room, if you like.
I like it.
And then the upstairs is where we're eventually going to have a lot more of our finishing detailing, because we have this amazing light comes in from all around through the
stained glass kind of?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
how
really,
did
really
you
cool.
choose that?
I was just so lucky.
Was it luck?
It was luck. I mean, when we moved to the last place, we did such a good job of renovating it that when we were leaving, the landlord said, this is amazing, we've never had a tenant like this. He said, I've got a place for you. And I was like, okay, I'd love to have a look. And when he took me there, I was like, this is what we need.
That is so cool.
It was so cool.
That is so much faith.
So cool. It is. I underestimated how much work it would be.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it, because now all our team are in one place all together.
Yeah.
And in the past, we were all in little up and downstairs, little corner units.
Yeah.
We're now more of a team.
I love that.
And as you said, I can sit and I can see Amy, I can see him, we can all chat to each other.
Yeah.
It's very open and level. And I think
great.
that's healthy for what I want to do. I want everyone to be very easily able to just collar and communicate with each other.
Are you done moving your lab? That sounds like a big
I
pain
am.
in the
Yeah,
butt.
my
That's
wife
it.
told me I'm not allowed to move labs ever again.
I bet you've been a nightmare.
How well you
like
know
this.
me. How well you know me.
Oh, my God.
But Lindsay said, you promised me last time was the last time.
Yeah. And I'm the one sleeping with you. So you have not been fun.
So this time is the last
Last time.
And so you have to play this for her so that she's got it.
She's got it.
And can keep it.
Evidence.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that silly. I'm not going to give my wife evidence.
What else is
Awesome.
going on? Anything? I mean,
I'd like to acknowledge
oh yeah.
on Amy's behalf, but you, how you encourage your employees to go to school and give them the time they need to get better and smarter, and because uni's 4 years?
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes +2,
Yeah,
+3.
if you go on and do the
that's
masters,
a big deal as a leader.
yeah,
that
look,
you're so behind that.
yeah, I'm terrible at taking a compliment, but I'll accept that one because what I am proud of is when we look at Hugo Salsa, who's in Portugal now, living his best life, sunny Portugal, Lisbon.
Yeah.
But he came to us. We supported him through his master's program. He's now doing his PhD. But the value he brings back to the team in understanding material science, what's really going on, has helped us to be a bit more innovative. So that is our model for all of our teams. Like, you can go on the course. If you want to do a master's, we'll take you through the masters.
Wow.
And I think that's important. It's not just about our hands anymore.
And then
it is our brain.
And the mentors.
Yeah,
like everybody
exactly.
in your lab's a mentor to a student.
Someone else. Exactly. We
and
have
that's
that.
like so synergistic. I love it.
And we hope that works out really well. It's hard for me to read when I walk in the room how I'm perceived. Some days good, some days maybe not so good.
We heard you're super high energy all day, every day.
Is it payday or not payday? That's
Exactly. Was the wages late going in?
Yeah.
Then not a popular guy.
Oh, I got paid today. Hey, friend.
He's okay. Yeah.
I'm paying for this building.
Yeah. Wait, it's payday, so we normally go for a few drinks. Are we all good for that? Yeah, okay. We like you today.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, but thank you very much. It's look, it sounds like such a twee thing to say, but if you don't invest in your team fully, you're not going to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
They need to grow. I want them to be twice as good as I ever was, and that's only going to happen if I give them all the experiences that we didn't get, because we're of a different generation. I'm sorry to say that in a
true.
big bubble, but I think
Yeah.
we all came in a very analog workflow.
Well, you've also inspired her to want to lecture. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know
and
that.
on implants, that she needs to specialize. That she wants
Yeah.
to specialize
Okay.
on implants.
We told her in
and
2
she wants
years
to
she'll
get up
be
there.
right here.
Well,
Yeah,
do you know
so
what? That'll
FYI.
be incredible, because what I'm taking from that is she saw me and thought, wow,
I can do that.
I could do better than that.
Oh, I can really do better than that.
I loved it. She was awesome. Yeah.
No, thanks for being so kind with her, because she was nervous. She's never
yeah.
done anything like this before.
Yeah.
And I said, honestly, Amy, you'll be in the best hands. Don't worry. They'll take
We'll
care
just
of
pull
you.
it right out of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
She
I
was
said
great.
that.
You're amongst
Yep, thank
dental
you.
friends.
You're amongst dental
Thank you
friends.
for the compliment
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
So how
welcome.
often do you come to IDS? You must.
We try and come every 2 years. So
Do you?
every time it's
Wow.
on, we always try and come here. So the big ones for us are here in Chicago.
That's it.
Because
Yeah.
these are really where the big announcements are. If anything's happening, it's happening at one of those two
Yeah.
places.
So when you say we, do you bring like a group?
Yeah. So we always try and bring some of our team with us. So Mark's here and Amy's here this time. A number of years ago,
Wow.
we took, when we were a lot smaller, we took everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
And that's not easy to do when we now get to around about 28 of us. It becomes
Yeah.
a lot
Expensive,
harder.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's also someone's got to do the work. So what we try and do now is we try and alternate it out between people so everyone gets an opportunity
Yeah.
to do something
Yeah.
or go somewhere.
Yeah.
So you send some to Chicago, you send some here.
Yeah, the idea is
Yeah.
always going to be now. We're going to continue to be okay. We've done this, and you talk about Amy, and we've got many skilled people in the lab who we're going to say, well, look, you go, you experience it, and if you want to engage and talk,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
So they've got to have that opportunity as well, because they'll have their own ideas, and that's where you get the value. They come back with, I kind of thought this might be a good idea. We can always have a look.
But
Yeah.
the difference is you're going to listen to those people.
100%.
There's a lot of people that come to these shows, or Chicago, they go back to their lab, and the owner or whatever didn't go,
Yeah.
didn't care, and it just goes.
Yeah,
and
it's
dies.
flat.
But
Yeah.
it's important that you're communicative with them on these opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it's a missed opportunity for us if we don't do this. So,
Yeah.
100%.
yeah.
Everything's worth checking out.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. I've always had the attitude like, you've just got to give everything a go. Like, everything is open.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Love it.
Give it a try.
That's how you
Love
get in
it.
trouble, Steve.
Exactly. That's why my wife put that sticker on. In my defense, I was left by myself. So she literally stuck that on the back of my phone before I left. I picked my phone up. I was like, what's this? She was like,
You know.
That's great. I like your wife.
Yeah, she's cool. She's definitely the better part of this couple, that's for sure.
Awesome, man.
Well, thank
Always
you.
a pleasure to see you.
Yeah.
Guys,
Catch up with you. Thank you, everything.
Yep.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep producing these stellar technicians.
yeah, well, hey. And
Let a few of them come to the States.
for sure.
We need them.
Yeah, well, we all need them. That's the problem. And I've got to thank you guys. Not only do you do this, the best content that just keeps going out.
Oh.
I don't know how you
Thank
find
you.
time. I just don't know how you find
I
time.
don't either.
That's a lot.
But
Yeah.
thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely,
you.
Steve. See ya.
Enjoy
See ya.
the meeting.
So you don't have a name tag? I'm not even going to try. What's your name?
Nicolas Rohde.
Nicolas?
Road.
Road.
Just like the road.
That's
so easy.
perfect for you.
Well, it's Americanized. So in German it would be Rohde.
Okay.
Older?
That's a little bit more
I'll
Let's
take
difficult.
go with Road.
Yeah.
We just go with road.
Yes.
How about Nicholas?
Even better.
Even better. So you're from VHF.
I am.
So tell
You
us
are VHF, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
No.
much.
No, that's way more behind
No.
me than that.
So here we are, IDS
Yes.
2025, the wonderful exocad booth. Nicholas Rhodes, yes, comes by. Tell us your story. How do you get into milling machines?
Let's start with dental.
How do you get into dental?
Yeah, so I have a business background, and I got into dental by pure chance.
Yeah, me too.
In 2001, I think.
Really?
So
Oh, wow.
quite a long time ago.
Wow.
And you know how it is. It's like a big family, and you get into there, and you stick
Well,
there.
who did
and
you
it's-
know
Yeah,
that
where'd
got
you
you
get
into
in?
it?
It was really by pure chance, and then I built my network, and now it's a big family for me. I'm
Wow.
always so happy to be here,
Yep.
be in Chicago or be
What
here
was your
at IDS.
first dip
and
into dental? I mean,
okay, that was with a company called Horico, Rotary Instruments.
oh, rotary
Very
instruments.
manual.
Yeah.
There's
Based
the
out of
connection.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Were you sales or what were, I mean,
It was a marketing sales position.
okay,
Let me
yeah.
put it like this. Yeah, and then
And
I
you
got.
fell in love.
I fell in love. I went back to university, pursued my PhD, but then
Wow.
afterwards right back into dental.
Wow.
And
Where are
yeah,
you from, if I might ask?
Originally from Berlin,
Okay.
Berlin, Germany.
All right.
Yeah, I have worked in the U.S. for 6-7 years.
That was the story that we heard. So you
So,
moved
okay.
to the U.S.
Yeah.
for 6 years.
It was actually during my studies that I
Ah.
went to the University of Maryland for 6 months.
Wow. How was that experience?
Yeah,
for
how did you choose that school? Maryland?
It was also, again, by coincidence, it was a research project at our university, international research project.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
the professor there asked me to do a joint
What were you researching?
organizational practices. So
Organizational
small-
practices.
Like, yeah, organizational theory, routines and companies. It's very
yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
because you see everywhere routines.
Yeah,
In a dental
sure.
lab, in a
Oh,
dental
yeah.
practice, in a bank, in a consulting company.
Dental labs are known for unorganized practice.
But still, it's not the written practice, but it's what's actually done and what people repeatedly do.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes in contrast to the
Yeah.
SOPs.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a fun area.
So-
I did my
Yeah.
research there,
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't want to stay in academia. I wanted to get back to the real world,
Yeah.
and it was the closest thing to get back into dental. I
Was-
loved it. And actually, I stayed in the U.S. because I met my wife over there.
Nice.
So I stayed in the Maryland area and worked then for an implant company, and that was my first step into digital dentistry.
Maryland
Got it.
Implant Company. Which one was
It was the U.S. headquarters of a Taiwanese Swiss company called Biodenta.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
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 Awesome.
So you sold implants and did those for a while.
The digital part of the
Oh,
implant business.
nice.
Yeah, and that was also my first touch point with VHF, because
Okay.
Biodenta back then was a reseller of VHF machines.
Oh, okay.
So I sold
the
them. I
connection.
installed them.
Yep.
That was also the time when I really was at the forefront. That was a fun time. I was in labs. I was in in dental offices. I was part of implant surgeries, did the scan with the trios,
Wow.
installed milling machines. Helped.
All
we
over
had
the country, all over the world.
So that was
all
really
over the
early
country.
too. That was early adaption.
Yeah.
That was like
the
the
company was
beginning.
actually at the forefront of the whole digital workflow.
Right.
And it was fun time. We also had a milling center, so that was also
in Maryland?
that was
Nice.
also my responsibility
You didn't have
to
a lot
run
to do.
the milling center.
How many mills were in this milling center?
We had, I think, 6 or 7.
6 or
Yeah.
7,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I
they were
learned
probably gigantic, right?
a
at
lot.
the
Yeah,
time?
exactly. Back in
Yeah.
the day, they were
Yeah.
gigantic. I learned really, how to take restorations out of a puck and smoothen them, and what the whole process is. But I had I was in the lucky position to do also really the hands-on.
Yes.
Which you became a technician.
Wow.
No, far away from that.
Hey.
Far away from that.
But you got to depuck.
You tuck it.
and
At least,
feel
at least
it
I could
and-
try it.
Yeah.
You know, the people were much better than I was, but
But you got your
I
hands in
always
it.
like to be
Yeah.
really hands-on.
Yeah. So what does VHF stand for?
It's actually the first letters of the founders' names.
Which is?
Wow.
Vogt, Henne, Fleischmann.
Oh, wow.
And they are the founders of the
of the company VHF,
which
but
is
then
milling.
the current CEO came in a few weeks, month after foundation, and he's running now the show ever since. Yeah.
So did it start as a milling company? Is that the first things you all
No,
did?
it actually started as a software company in a
Software.
garage.
Ah.
Yeah,
In a
software.
garage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love those stories.
I love that story. So what? These
And
3 guys
it's-
met.
Yeah,
and
they were
decided-
students, and they developed software for milling machine controllers, controller boards.
Right.
In dental or non-dental?
No, dental came way,
Yeah.
way
So
much.
they were
Isn't that
doing
crazy
much,
milling
how that
much
machines
works?
for
Yeah.
what, like car parts and
all
industrial things?
kinds
Jewelry.
of milling machines.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. And then they started building the controller itself, and then kind of built from the inside to the outside. Started building milling machines, flatbed portal milling machines for industrial applications.
Yeah.
Cutting out boards, sign making, all that kind of stuff.
And do you know how they discovered dental?
Yes, that was again by pure chance.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, there's so much
This whole company is
chance.
a chance.
Yeah.
It was a company from the dental industry approached them about, 16, 17 years ago
Yeah.
and said, here, we want that kind of machine. Can you build that for us?
That's
And no one had a clue about dental. They
At all.
knew that they have teeth in their
Yeah,
mouth.
sure.
And that you
But
need
there
to
was
see
not
a
even
dentist,
in
but
their vision.
not expertise whatsoever. So they just designed and manufactured a machine according to the specifications
of the company that approached
of the
them.
company, and it was quite successful. And then at some point there was no exclusivity I think was only in the first year or so, and then they put together a desktop milling machine for milling zirconia, and they went here to IDS. I think the company was they might have been 10 employees in the beginning. They exhibited here at IDS, and people couldn't believe that you can mill zirconia on a tabletop or desktop
And
milling
they
machine.
blew everybody's mind, I'm
So
sure.
they were
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
mill?
To my knowledge, back in the day we had those big 3M lava.
Yeah, the
So it's the
lavas.
desktop
Yeah,
milling
this is the
machines.
smaller
first,
ones.
like, smaller one.
Yeah, and that was
Wow.
kind of
Were
the
you here during that?
No,
I'd love to get feedback on like what the vibe was at this show when one booth had a milling machine, and you're like,
I bet that was.
I bet you it was crazy.
I just saw a picture. back
I
of
was.
the day.
We asked
Yeah.
about that with somebody else today. Do they have any pictures of the
Yeah.
early days,
Yeah.
like the very first mill or the
Yeah.
first piece of equipment for
Yeah.
that sort of technology?
Yeah.
what was
Wow.
that mill called? The first one?
Ooh,
Do they have
good,
names?
Good question.
I don't know.
I'm
if
sure
they're-
the machine had a name, but I
You don't know what
actually
it is? Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
still working?
Probably somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
Some
but-
lab's still using it.
Yeah.
So back to you. So then, you were in Maryland. You were doing that. You
Right,
stayed
right.
here, and then you moved back.
Exactly. At some point,
I think you said
the
you had met this company at that company at
exactly.
that job.
So I was still living in the U.S., but I went to trainings with VHF because I was really at the forefront. I was selling the machines.
Oh, yeah.
You're fixing them?
I was fixing them.
Wow.
I got the service level 1 training. And and then at some point my wife and I said, well, maybe we should consider also moving to Germany. Just give it a try. We had our kids were born in the U.S., but we kind of wanted to.
Your wife wanted to go to Germany?
Expose them to the German culture. Yeah.
Your wife wanted to go.
Well, we both said it would be a good thing to try. Yeah. And then we just went, and I got back in touch with the company, and I've been working for VHF ever since. Started working in the service department. It was, of course, they liked the idea of having someone there who comes in with the customer perspective.
Yeah.
Then I managed the product department. Then I was the CEO for the U.S. operation for 3.5 years.
So you came back?
I did that actually remotely.
All right,
I
that's
was
good. I was
traveling a lot during that time. I was
Yeah.
in the U.S. for a week per month.
Yeah.
Wow, you
that's no
were in a
joke.
country from a Zoom call.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
So
it was basically from like a service standpoint. The company was founded in the U.S. before I joined the company, VHF, but it was just designed as a service standpoint. There were 2 experts sitting there in the office, and then we changed once I started working in the U.S. again. We changed things around. We started having inventory there.
Wow.
We started
Parts
hiring
and
staff.
So
that
you've
we could
actually
really
seen the company grow and grow and grow and grow from quite a lot. What do you think of that? Like, how do you keep evolving the company, the mills? Like, tell me what that looks like from your seat. How do you keep getting better and better and better and building better mills?
Well, it's always striving for the next step, so to say. I don't know if you've seen our claim, creating perfection.
I love it.
Of course, there's never perfect. The state of perfection is not really achievable, but you can always strive for that, and that's what really drives us every day, to always be ahead of the pack, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, your mills are known as being some of the top of the line in the industry. I mean, people speak highly of the mills. How many mills are out right now? Different levels or different degrees?
We have 3 categories now.
Okay.
With it all together 3, 6, 8 machines.
Wow.
So there's basically for every flavor there's a machine.
So
or
some
for
of
every
them
taste there's a
specialize
flavor.
in doing different things?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just wet and dry, right? It's more than
Correct.
that.
I'm sure you're milling metal.
Yes.
Implants.
We do, some machines do, some others don't. Some are more for, let's say, a bigger lab with bigger throughput. Some are more for an entry level, or if a lab already has a number of machines, but they want to add some or replace some, maybe some mill for production peaks.
Yeah.
Then they have like a low investment and just can add that production capacity.
Wow. Well, you talked about Germany and America.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the world? You guys taking over South America? I mean, are you everywhere?
You're everywhere, correct?
We are globally, We have resellers in many, many countries, in all regions. Yeah, so Asia is strong. We have a subsidiary also in Asia. Latin America is booming right now.
So they're all manufactured in one place?
All manufactured in one place, made in Germany.
Yeah.
That has got it. I mean,
crazy.
just how many do you make a day? It's got to take a while to make a mill, right?
Yeah, it depends on the mill. So there are some mills that are put together much faster, probably within a day or 2, with all the parts that need to be pre-assembled. And then there's a very complex mill that can wet and dry milling, and that has the disc changer, and that makes it all complex, and then it takes about 4 times as much to put it together. Is it
like assembly line, or is it like one person puts it all together and
Are you talking about like the facility where they manufacture the mills?
I'm just kind of curious.
I'm sure you've been there, because that's kind of where you started, right?
No, it is. I mean, it's very professionalized now. Every step is really pre-organized.
I think it has to be perfect for
whole
calibration,
flow,
right?
but then in the end, one person puts together one machine, so that there's that connection with the machine,
That's
and they
awesome.
can really put their whole focus into that one machine, and they're proud. Once the machine is done, they're proud that they put it together.
They like gloss it up
Yeah.
and ship it out.
Shine it,
and-
yeah.
It's gonna be tested.
Yeah.
It's also very important to have the quality control.
Everyone gets tested?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long is the testing?
Well,
Like a couple crowns or something? Or
yeah, they first do test specimens, but then they also always run crowns.
They actually do some zirconia. Yeah. Because you got to have it do with the actual product before it goes out. I didn't realize you tested every single one.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then you have to clean it.
That's true as well.
No one wants to buy a brand new mill with some old zirconia dust in it. That's
so,
hilarious.
How do you help labs? So they buy the mill and you have customer service. So if they have any issues, do you go in through the computer to help them fix it, or do you have a whole team that travels to? Not saying they break down. I'm saying customer service. If they have an issue,
happens.
how does that work?
It's a machine. In the end, it happens. And if it is because the machine was not maintained properly or cleaned properly.
Yes, we clean ours quite frequently. Yes.
Very good. So we sell through resellers globally, and the reseller is typically doing the first line of support. But then when they cannot answer anymore, they cannot repair the machine, they send it to VHF, either to one of our subsidiaries or to the headquarters.
Do you have one in America, a subsidiary?
Yeah,
okay,
we do.
so we don't have to
do.
ship them to Germany.
No,
because that would be crazy insane.
Yeah. No, it's in New York, and
nice.
we are very proud because the team is so great there that we never had to send a machine back to the headquarters in Germany. They could fix everything stateside.
That's a good sign of what they're doing it right. Yeah.
So forgive my ignorance, but are you launching something at this meeting?
Yeah, we are showcasing here our new digital world, new digital solutions. One part of the milling system, you have the hardware, and then you have the software. And our dental cam software came out with a complete revamped user interface, the whole workflow. It's basically rebuilt from the bottom again.
Wow.
So this is software
So they're back
you've
into
developed.
software.
Yeah. That's
You've developed this software. What's new about the update? Is it faster?
Quickly, since you said you were so surprised that we developed the software, that's
where you started.
One of our secret sauce that we not only manufacture the mill, but we also make our own software, and we also make our own tools, the milling tools.
Wow. See, that's not common, right?
It is not.
Yeah, a lot of milling use other paths. What are they called? Milling paths?
Strategies.
That's what I'm thinking of. And you do your own.
We do our own. We are still absolutely open. So if someone wants to use their own CAM software, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we are convinced
All
that
included.
if you want to have a plug-and-play solution and you don't want to tinker with the milling strategies, just rely on what our team of specialists has optimized.
Right.
And with those three elements, the software, the machine, and the tools, you can really optimize the complete system.
Awesome.
So what does the new software do? Make it faster? Make it, better?
It's faster, up to 20%.
Nice.
It is much more convenient. It has a nice, clean user interface. It has a lot of automation. For example, you don't have a long list of available pucks in your library, but it recognizes the object and then automatically recommends the pucks that would fit.
You put in a half-used puck, it will read it and tell you what puck that is?
No, it's all in the library. The pucks are in the library, but it knows, okay, it's that 3-unit bridge and in zirconia and with that height, and then it would recommend, okay, puck number 3 and 5 would have space for
space.
it. Yeah.
And 20%, that's huge for labs.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm sure that makes a significant difference to the user, to the end user.
And then what also saves time is auto nesting and auto pinning.
Oh, wow.
So
that's all part of the CAD software too,
no,
right?
CAM.
CAM.
That's all CAM.
Or I got it
You
wrong. The CAM, yeah.
Get the SDL from the CAD software, and then you put it in the blank.
Yep.
But typically, then it's just in the middle, and now you have a button where it nicely organizes
And it puts
the objects.
The sprues in the right place.
And then also puts the sprues in the right place.
Wow.
Because sometimes those automated ones will boop right on a margin. You're like, you can't do that.
That's never fun either.
Yeah. And we mentioned earlier milling metal. Those got to be beefier machines, right?
Well,
So
we have universal machines.
that do is all.
So they do it all. And only our E-series will not support milling metals, but all others do. So
you must have a huge amount of tools also. So each tool has to be different for each procedure, or metal or zirconia.
different tools for different materials, but then for indications is mostly the
And does
same.
it read? Does the software read like this tool is done? It's done this many crowns.
Yeah.
It's time to change it and
Yeah,
let the.
yeah. It will track the lifetime and then recommends a change, or since we have an automatic tool changer, it will just take
Does everything for you.
the next tool that is in line.
That's awesome.
So in one machine, you can put in zirconia, mill your crown, take out that zirconia, put in Emax, mill that Emax, take that out, and put in an abutment and mill that abutment, and not have to really do anything to the machine. Just like swap out that easy.
It's even better. You have a machine. You have a machine with the blank changer. You load all the jobs, wet, dry, whatever it is.
Yeah,
and I'm
metal,
talking now about the
PMMA,
R5, like our premium top-of-the-line machine. You put all the jobs in the CAM software. You click again a button, optimize, and it will sort that you first have all the wet or the wet jobs and then the dry
Then the
jobs.
dry. Wow. Wet before dry.
So that you don't.
Awesome.
No, it really doesn't matter with what you begin, but we want to avoid that you always have the automatic cleaning cycle in between, just to save time.
The thing cleans itself?
It does clean itself. Clean and dry itself.
That is my mill. I want that mill. Do you guys do any clinical? Do you work with doctors also, or is it all lab-based?
Yeah, no, there are also doctors that are investing
Wow.
now into milling technology.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're all there. Yeah, there's a fair amount getting
Yeah.
into it. So they would give it the smaller, I'm assuming.
Yeah, mostly.
Like
All
you said, the different levels.
Yeah.
Maybe
All-
it's-
what I hear is also that more and more technicians are being hired then into
By-
dental
yeah.
offices, and they have their own lab and the expertise of a technician in the
I've been
office.
in a doctor's
Yeah.
office. He's got a 5-disc changer.
We're hearing
and you're
that
like,
a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing that much dentistry for
Yeah.
one person? I was like, wow.
It's fascinating.
Do you do the different multi-disc changers?
Yeah.
I imagine you do. What's
Yeah.
the biggest one? How many does it hold?
That's the R5 with 10 discs.
10
and that
discs.
typically
10 discs.
gets you
So you
overnight.
can load that at night and come in
Exactly.
the morning if you're a larger lab, or any lab, as a matter of fact, and everything's ready
Everything
to roll.
is done.
And it doesn't matter if this is zirconia, this is Emax, this is a bar, this is an abutment, this is a...
That's pretty
insane to
fascinating.
me.
Doesn't matter at all.
Years ago, I won't even say the
yeah.
brand, we had a wet-dry mill, and it was a pain to go between wet and dry.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, everyone's like, don't do it. But this thing
Oh
sounds
yeah.
like...
No, we advised also in the past days. We advised against it to
But now
let it run.
that's over.
Those times are over.
Good to hear it.
Yeah.
Good to hear it.
And it's
You
good
know,
that
there's
you used
automation.
probably customer feedback, and they were just like, this is really difficult to do. So then you guys went back in and said, let's figure this out. We need to
That's
raise the game.
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
really what we are striving
Yeah.
for, to listen to the customer, to see where the pain points
Yeah.
are,
Yep.
and to fix them.
Yeah.
And that's also with the
Excellent.
dental cam software. It's a
Yeah.
lot of customer feedback
Yeah.
just to make things easier,
Yeah.
because everyone is busy. We know that a lot of labs cannot find good people anymore, so they
It's
hire
true.
people from the street. Then it needs to be really easy. You
Yeah.
cannot explain that a cam software for a long time to a person, and then the
Yeah.
person leaves
Yeah.
half a year later,
And
and
then
then
you're
you start
totally-
again. It
yeah.
needs to be
Yeah.
intuitive.
Exactly. That's a great point.
And this thing will nest it for you
Correct.
and do all
the
your
pins
paths.
and the bars.
I mean,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
half
Yeah.
the work. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it almost seems like a plug and play, load and leave.
And go home.
Well, thank you
thank
so
you.
much. That's some fascinating
Yeah.
stuff.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank
It was
you for
really
coming
fun.
back. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, thank you. And VHF,
Yep.
right?
VHF.
And good luck to your
VHF.
company. Enjoy the rest of this crazy meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Heard
Thank
a lot of
you.
really great things about your company.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Thank you so much.
A big thanks to Juan, Luis, Steve, and Dr. Rhodes. We absolutely love the new Stetic story of starting as a lab, needing material, to becoming such a leader in manufacturing materials. Technicians will always find a way, guys. Always, always. Always great to talk to Steve, which we love. I love his accent, and I just love his personality. We can't imagine where he will run into him next. We've already seen him, I think, in U.S.,
Yep.
Mallorca,
Yep.
and Germany.
Yep.
And sure, we will see him in the next country, hopefully the U.S., maybe Chicago.
Or Dubai.
Yeah. We have a plug to Dubai.
I'm still trying.
I know. And it was really great to get to know Dr. Rhodes and more from the people that are making such highly praised mills. Keep up the good work, guys. What great conversations.
All right, everybody. That's all we got for you. And of course, we will talk to you next week.
And you know there's more to come from IDS, y'all. So
Much,
tune in.
much more. Have a good one.
See ya.
I'm not part of the smart crew.
Stop it. Yes, you are. You're the funny crew.
The views and opinions expressed on the Voices from the Bench podcast are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the host or Voices from the Bench, LLC.